Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I thought I would just give a quick update because it looks like, especially the GFS, but there is like signal now from most models that in the main development region we could be seeing a tropical system forming in like the next coming week or so, and it's starting to gain a bit more support. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. So firstly we're gonna be looking at the GFS, and we're going to look at the wind shear environment and if there's dry air around and how favourable the environment is for the storm and things like that. So the GFS first, and as you can see, there is a disturbance. This is the first wave coming off. Most models don't really do much with it as we go towards middle of next week, and next week then there's nothing much really goes on with it. It's the wave behind it that the GFS is really lighting. So as we go into the beginning of next week, it starts to dip south, so it disconnects from the monsoon trough. It disconnects itself, and it dives southwards because it's big ridge to its north. And as time goes on, it goes into a really favourable environment, and it starts to intensify as time goes on, and it's heading towards the Caribbean in like the Lesser Antilles and obviously the Greater Antilles and like that. And as we go on into the really long range, the beginning of September, it goes into the Caribbean. And if we look at the previous runs, this run it was the same. This run weaker, a lot weaker, but the past two runs it's starting to show up more. I'm not saying this is exactly going to happen, but it is interesting how the GFS is starting to lock on a bit more, and other models are starting to trend on it, and the GFS ensembles are starting to show a signal of this happening as well. So this is showing a major hurricane, very long, really far out. Don't take this literally, but if I was in the Lesser Antilles, Greater Antilles Islands, and everywhere like that, I would keep an eye on things, make sure your hurricane plan's up to date and like ready, because like this storm could happen. It might not happen, and if it doesn't, obviously that's great for everyone. But if it does happen, it's best to make sure your preparations are potentially ready to be put in place. Just make sure if this does happen, you have a plan ready to go straight away, and you know how to protect yourself and your family and your friends and other people, like things like that. So now we're going to go into the moisture. So this wave that's firstly come off, it's very limited moisture, and there is a bit drier towards north, but it just eats away in the dry air, and like there's this, it just dies. The setting storm, it disconnects from the monsoon trough, like it starts to disconnect, and there is a bit dry air at first that rushes in, but it starts to dip south, and it starts to try to protect itself, and then it starts blowing the convection. And as it starts to go towards the Caribbean, there is dry air in its vicinity, but it's small enough to fend it off a lot easier. If it was like, say, if it was double its size, it would find it a lot harder to defend itself, because obviously if it's a lot bigger, that's bigger influence, and they can drag dry air in from a bigger area. But obviously it's a lot smaller, so it'll be a lot harder for dry air. So that's really interesting. But that's the GFS. And now the wind shear, this first one that's coming off, there is some shear towards north, but not much, but it's just dry air mainly. And then the shear from the second wave starts to plow into the first wave, and obviously it kills it as well. But the majority of the environment for this second wave is not too bad at all. Like saying there is shear towards north, but it's more like it's not like cutting right in it. It's like blown over it's blown over like towards the east. It's like blown like kind of like in like a westerly direction. It's like it's not blowing this way, it's blowing this way, so it's more like around. It's not like blowing in it, if you know what I mean. So the environment overall is not too bad, and it's generally got a decent shear environment. So look at the shear around here. When I was talking about there is a little bit something in the north, I'm going to have a little look at the shear here, see what it's looking like. It won't be that bad. Say it's around 11 knots of shear, perfectly favourable. And if we look just around here, as the Caribbean shear looks decent, like it looks in motion, like it's not like directional shear. Yep, she has low again. So in total, if this run does come off, the environment overall is really decent. It's not like looking like the shear looks okay. Dry air is there, but it's not enough to like destroy it. So as climatological peak starts to come, as it's coming now, now we're going to see whether these waves start to fight against the dry air, because previously a wave will come off and like the dry air will just kill it instantly and like the waves will just die. Now it's really interesting to see if this second wave, if it comes off, if it either A, dies again like as the other one time and it just doesn't develop, or B, it actually starts to fight against the dry air and it tries to blow convection, and if in its early stages around here, if it stays alive and it comes more towards the west, the environment will get better and better as time goes on, and the ocean temperatures will get warmer, ocean heat content will get even warmer and deeper. So the more west it goes, the better chance it has in actually doing something. And then if it gets to this point here and it's still like looking decent, then I think we could be looking at a strong storm. But at this point, it's far out. There's no point saying, oh, it's going to become strong and it's gonna happen, because it probably might not happen. But if I quickly look at the GFS ensembles here, and there is support starting to tick up for this. So as you see here, there is stuff happening. Previous run, not there really. This run, it's more there, and there's more stuff showing. And that's when that second wave goes north and it disconnects itself. And most of them go north of Antilles, but there is a general slight trend that the GFS is slightly starting to like this second wave. So as I said, climatological peaks coming. This might happen, might not happen, but as time goes on and climatological peak comes, like it's gonna start to fight off against dry air, and it's just gonna get more and more likely eventually. So as I said, that like climatological peaks coming, and it's something to watch, definitely. The same what other runs show, but yeah, like the peaks coming, and it's really important to keep an eye on everything. And if we look at ECM really quickly, it's not as bullish as the GFS here. It is showing it here, but it's like a lot weaker, and it doesn't really dive to the south and then to the like towards the east. Whereas the actual ECM is starting to like it actually likes the third wave a lot. So that'll be something to watch after as well. But in total, the tropics could be heating up, and it's really something to watch in the future. And I think there could be something that could happen down the road. Okay guys, I hope you found this video informative and you all liked it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll do another video tomorrow.